Are we good? Okay. So good morning, everyone. We'll begin with the reflections on universal well-being. May I abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may I maintain well-being in myself. May everyone abide in well-being, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may they maintain well-being in themselves. May all be released from all suffering, and may they not be parted from the good fortune they have attained when they act upon intention. All beings are the owners of their action and inherit its results. Their future is born from such action, companion to such action, and its results will be their home. All actions with intention, be they skillful or harmful, of such acts they will be the heirs. So today is our last full day here at Snow Mountain Monastery. And I was thinking of reflecting on a visit we just had from a Thai forest monk named Tan Nisabo, or Venerable Nisabo. And I was just talking with Jing Wei Shi this morning that one of the legacies of Master Hua was bringing together the northern and southern schools of Buddhism. And I remember one of the members of their tradition, when he actually returned to lay life, but when he was a monk at Chithurst, he actually was very inspired by Master Hua's teachings. And he asked Master Hua for instructions. And Master Hua told him this, which when he read it, when he sent it to me, I was very moved by. So Master Hua told this, this time he was a Thai forest monk, and he said, you should bring the two traditions together into a single piece. The northern and southern traditions must unite, and then Buddhism has a future. This is your mission. Do not assume that the great vehicle is superior to the Theravada, or that the Theravada is superior than the great vehicle. Have no limits. The teaching has no limits. Let your mind be limitless. And I remember the story when Ajahn Sumedho met Master Hua. And Master Hua saying upon his encounter with Ajahn Sumedho that upon meeting Ajahn Sumedho, he realized, he said his dream of bringing the northern and southern schools of Buddhism together could be realized. And when Tanisabo visited, I felt, it's another piece in this larger field that we're part of. So maybe just a few snapshots at the visit, and might also connect it to our visit with Ajahn Sudanto. one place that I really felt the connection actually was interesting was also at the very end. He had come just for the morning, and he left around 12:30. And before he left, we did a very short introduction of everyone. You know, who we were, everyone here, an introduction of himself, and a friend that he brought along. And then when the layman requested to pay his respects, and he agreed. And I could see as everyone bowed to Tan-Nisabo, it brought the relationship, which I felt before was a kind of heartfelt kind of meeting of friends, kind of curiosity of learning about what each other is doing. From this simple act of paying our respects, it kind of drops us into a greater field, into you can say the Dhamma Vinaya, the Buddha's training. And we become kind of one family. The feeling is like, we're one family, one lineage, bringing together these two traditions. And I felt the same thing happen when we visited Ajahn Sudanto during the very end. He had a number of the lay community there come to visit him. I first thought that they were quite familiar with the monastery already, but as the visit continued, and I could hear some of the questions that the lay people were reflecting on, I realized that many of them were fairly new to the Dharma, fairly new to the monastic etiquette. And Ajahn Sudanto was very patiently and kindly teaching them. But again, at the very end, when it was time to leave, we pay our respects. And everybody gets down on our knees, put our palms together, and very sincerely just bow 3 times. And somehow the atmosphere just kind of changes. It goes from the kind of mundane space and interactions into a kind of sacred, timeless space. When done with real respect, it also opens the heart. And both Tan-Nisabo and Ajahn Sudanto shared a few words of encouragement for the men here, for the program that we're doing. And somehow that sharing is kind of tuning into something deeper than just the kind of nice, polite words. It's coming from, we're one family. We really want you to be well, for you to be successful in your endeavors. I'm here for you. I'm here to support. And I think these kind of friendships, you could say noble friendships, aren't built simply on kind of liking each other. I like you, you like me, and so we hang out. I would say a lot of us here similarly as a group, we might actually not have very similar personalities or very similar backgrounds. But what holds us together in a kind of a noble friendship is shared values, shared aspirations. And so in this regard, I think what Venerable Master and Ajahn Sumedho connected with was their love and respect for the Buddha's teachings, for the Vinaya, for wanting to keep the monastic tradition alive in the world as a gateway for those who really want to cultivate. I remember Ajahn Sumedho sharing how when he first was introduced to Master Hua or asked to maybe visit him, he was actually not sure about visiting. Because he thought maybe they're a little bit too strict, too extreme. But when he actually went and met Master Hua, he said, actually the first thing I remember him saying, he said, he remembered Master Hua's hands were like Ajahn Chah's hands. Ajahn Chah was Ajahn Sumedho's teacher. And he said that he only thought there was maybe one person like Ajahn Chah he would meet in the world. But when he met Master Hua, he felt he met another person like Ajahn Chah. And he said that in Master Hua he saw somebody who really wanted to bring the Dhamma Vinaya into the world. That he didn't want to set up a private monastery just for himself. But rather he wanted to create large monasteries for training, for planting down the Sangha in Western soil in modern times. And this was very inspiring for Ajahn Sumedho, because he said he didn't meet many people like that. Many monastics were just interested in creating a little temple for ourselves. Just a nice, comfortable space for me to cultivate, have lay disciples. He said Master Hua wasn't like that at all. And so when Tantisabo came, I could see that he was also trying to carry on the kind of tradition. We had our noon meal, and we offered, would you like to have our meal with us? He said, I wasn't sure if there was going to be a meal for me to join, so I actually already went on alms round. He eats through alms round in Seattle and eats whatever he's given. He also said, I made an atitana, which is translated as determination. We probably would say vow or resolve to just eat one meal a day, one time a day. So he said, I already had my meal. So maybe I can just meditate on the side, let people have our meal, and then I don't want to be, burdensome in any way. And, simple statement, but in that one statement, I could hear a kind of a discipline, a kind of training, a kind of wish to cultivate the monastic form in a kind of new culture, and also even in an environment where it's not so easy. It's not easy to not eat when everyone else is eating. And so I think that's another thing. We had a long conversation with Ajahn Sutanto about him starting the alms round at Abhayagiri. At Pacific Hermitage, and making that the kind of way that people got trained. So maybe just to finish up, I thought that this friendship is something that we really can grow in as the years go by. Kind of friendship among traditions. I'll say to not just look at it kind of in traditions, but with the people around us. For instance, here is Jing Xiaoshi, somebody that I deeply respect. We spent many years together in TM, just doing the anagarika or trainee time, and then as novices. And then when the monastery now Jing Weisher over the number of years, and now we have a small group of men coming together to cultivate. And in this kind of practice of living together, we're not perfect. At least I'm definitely not perfect. And I can be very impulsive at times or strong in my ways. But to actually say, you know what I really wanted to cultivate is this friendship, this friendliness, to wish for the well-being of everyone here, and to kind of be in service to that. And in friendship, there's also kind of a lightheartedness, where there's a kind of ease. With friends, you're usually not uptight and kind of trying to show off or perform. For friends, you really feel like you can be yourself and be accepted for who you are. And I think that's something that's worth cultivating as a community, saying, how do we be good friends for each other? And then on a larger scale, good friends with those maybe even larger than our extended circle and out throughout the whole world. So I'll just share that much for this morning, and we can do our 3 steps, 1 bow. But maybe just today people can just reflect a little bit about this quality of friendship. So we'll also be starting our Noble Friendship Pod with a service space on November 7th. So after this retreat, as I said, everywhere engaged, nowhere attached, we'll begin a Noble Friendship Pod.
2
a
weeks,
virtual retreat.
14 days.
14 days.
Exploring the friendship.
That'll be a worldwide retreat. This retreat is going to be all over the world. Yeah, so it should be a fun
And
chance to deepen our understanding of friendship.
Supported by 15 volunteers around the globe. And if you have a chance, definitely we encourage you to sign up. Maybe we can put somehow the link for we put on our website, probably,
Yeah,
right?
oh, I actually didn't put it on our website yet. We should do that.
We
It's
have to do it.
pod.servicespace.org, and you can find it there. I'm sure somebody online can put it in the chat box or put it on the YouTube channel. Okay, so hope you can join us for 2 weeks of noble friendship. I'll say when we did it the first time, I would say we learned a lot for sure, and who knows what we'll learn the second time around. Yeah,
All of you. So this is kind of announcement for all of us.
Yeah. So it doesn't end. We arrive and immediately start. Yeah. Orientation is November 7th at 8 p.m. Okay. So wish everyone well.
Already Sheila.
Great.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you. So highly encourage you to take a journey with the...
It's definitely, I would say, worth doing. We had people share how it deepened their understanding of what a relationship could be. It's like, wow, I've never thought of a relationship like this before. You know, this is something that's unique. We don't really get taught about how to really be noble friends. We sometimes learn about friendship, but really, how do we have friends that are based on virtue and our deeper values, and live from that place? It's something that is actually another training, you could say. Okay, so that's 3 steps, 1 bow. Service? No, it's an online retreat. It's a 共修，在网上的共修。这个
online, offline, because it's a combination of both. It's not just
我们
online.
学习真正这个朋友的这个善知识的道理。善知识的道理。What does it mean to have friends?
Oh, so probably tomorrow we will not have a sharing in the morning.
Yeah, we won't have sharing tomorrow morning.
And probably Sunday too, because
no
we'll be
Sunday.
returning to California, to Berkeley and Redwood Vihara. So we continue on this coming Monday, our morning program.
For all the